here.
They're not more docile, they're just slightly more intelligent and mature.
But it's very important, you see, that these young people should understand what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
That's the point, you see.
Now, what is going on in the world today?
Well, what's going on in the world today is that after the late... I've been through 2 great world wars, and in neither case have we received the benefits and the peace which we were led to believe would happen and even promised. That's the politicians. I mean, the first war, we won the war militarily, we lost the peace. This late war, Hitler's war, we won, but we lost the peace, vis-a-vis the East. Now, the world today is split. It's split in two with 2 conflicting ideologies and social systems. I think that's inevitable. It so happens, you see, that the eastern part of the world are communists. Well, it suits them. And it's no good saying you mustn't be communists. They are. What we've got to do is to stop it coming our way.
Oh, yes. Now, where do we stop it?
We stop it on the seas. You see...
We don't stop it on land.
Well, you can't... I maintain, you see, that the first thing the leaders of the West have got to understand that this nation of China, which I know very well indeed, of course, and Mao Zedong, was a great friend of mine, you see. I've been right across China. What they've got to understand is that nothing can prevent China from dominating the mainland of Asia. Nothing. And I don't think it matters.
When you say the mainland of Asia, do you mean the peninsula going down, the Southeast Asia, or do you include India in that?
I don't include India because the Indian subcontinent is very necessary in the West, very necessary, and I think we should give it massive aid and stop it going with the Eastern Bloc. But what is necessary is that we should control the water areas of the world, the seas and major oceans like the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. You see, right throughout history, that side which controlled the seas in the end prevailed.
Now,
right throughout history.
Isn't the corollary that that side which controls the air will prevail these days?
Well, yes, but not, it's controlled in a rather different way, you see, because you have these weapons which you can loose off, you see, and nuclear weapons. The seas are the big thing, I think. Now, if you go back, of course, I've, in my study of war, I've had to study a lot of history. I've had to, because war is history, and history is built up on war. And I went right back to the Greek-Persian Wars, and very interested indeed, of course, in the wars between Rome and Carthage. Now, Carthage was the most biggest enemy that the Romans ever had to face, you see. And Hannibal went over the Alps and went down into Italy and tried to control the great Carthaginian, you see. And he was opposed, finally, by Scipio Africanus, who said, leave him there, leave him in Italy. We will go across the seas and defeat him at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC, which he did. Now, a very curious thing happened in that battle. Before the battle began, Hannibal and Scipio met in the middle to talk things over.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Where? On land?
On the battlefield.
On the battlefield?
Yeah, here was one, the Carthaginian army, and there was the Roman army. And it was, I think it was Hannibal who proposed it to Scipio, that they should have a talk, and see if they couldn't reach some agreement. And they met in the middle. Now, if Rommel had said to me, man, let us meet and have a talk and see if we can't do something about it, I would have said no. Although I have been very pleased to see my famous opponent. No, this is war. I'm going to defeat you, smash you in battle. And I'm not going to talk about how we can settle this thing. We can't settle it except by battle.
But now was